Sorry about that little faux pas, everybody. With no audio, there was no sense of sticking around. So I closed everything off and started again. Oh, hot doggy. I'm gonna sneeze. She ran away, and I wonder what made her stay away. My little runaway, run, 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 run away. Nope, nothing there. Let's go there. Dime. What made her stay? My little runaway. Who's with me? I see whoever you are, you've already liked it, and I love that. Thank you very much for that. Let you guys look at the lights a little bit while we sort through some garbage here on the bench. That's bright. I'll have to put a warning on here. May cause seizure. You guys check this out yet? This is the brand new Icon 1000 lumen bar light. Rechargeable. So this is real light. I should be able to use that painting cars to make sure that the paint looks good. That's both of them. This is just straight up 1000 lumen LED there. And then this is a UV light that you're supposed to be able to use to, I don't know, look for leaks in air conditioning units. And then there is the light in the end. This is not on shelves yet at your local Harbor Freight. You have to ask for them to bring you one. I happen to like it. I like it very much. What made her stay? My little runaway. Run, 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 run away. Run, 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 run away. So the more and more of these lives that I do, the more and more I start to realize that I'm the old guy on here. There's not many people out there my senior, I can tell you that. Which I guess can be good, can be bad, not real sure which. But it's kind of interesting. I never really thought of myself as the old man, but I'm quickly becoming him. I'm not afraid to open up conversations and talk to people about crazy things. I'm open to different ideas, but I am very much a believer in my beliefs and morals. I'm not going to push what I believe and my morals onto you. I usually don't even talk about that stuff. We talk about cars. We talk about work ethic. We talk about my 47 years of experience. I've been watching a guy on YouTube here. His name is Bondo Billy. And he's an old guy too. Well, he's a lot older than me. But he's been in the industry a long time. And he lets everybody know it. I try not to be that way. I do have some humility. But the older I get, the more humility I lose, I guess. And not because I want to be arrogant, but because I want to be able to share some of the things I've learned and hopefully save somebody from going through the same mistakes that I have made in my life, which Lord knows there's enough of them. How about you guys? What do you think? If you looked at this bench, you'd think that we were all, that I was a electrician. Teddy Bear, what's happening? You got the old Mongo man out here in Kenny's garage, getting things read up. You guys are going to be hearing me say that a lot through this winter, since we are out here in Kenny's garage, and I brought all my stuff out to his shop. Wonder if Harbor Freight would take that back and give me a new one. It does say Pittsburgh on it. I don't know. Does Harbor Freight warranty their impact tools, their punches? That'd be a good question. Thanks for joining the chat here, for joining the live. We're trying to get enough watch time on my channel. You love the car behind me. How did you see the car behind me? Have you been here before, Teddy Bear? That is my 1985 Ford Bronco, up on 1 tons. But I did it as though Ford had made that thing from the factory, a 1 ton. It's on a Dana 60 solid axle front end. Have I ever worked on a VW 1.9 TDI engine? I've not, tall dude. My son has done some Volkswagen work and didn't like it very much. I think it'd be the best way to put that, because they're very tight. German engineering, really cool. Thanks, Teddy Bear. Appreciate that. German engineering it's cool, but they are super tight inside. I was hoping that it does have a hook on it. I just have to find it. See if we can hang this bad boy up here. Oh yeah, look at that. It puts it up there, kind of out of the way. What's going on with yours, tall dude? What kind of mountain bike do you have when you lost your weight? I'm kind of tall too. I wouldn't consider myself a tall dude. I'm 6'1". I used to be 6'1" when I played football. Haven't done that for a very long time. But I was 6'1". My brother is 6'6". Multi-purpose thread sealant. Look at that. Pipe dope. I don't even know where that came from. Plastic and metal threads. No drip, soft, low odor. That's going for sure in the bin. Flashlight. Where are we going to put this flashlight? It's going to go over in there. You're tall. 6'1". I was watching something today that said that I'm in the top 15th percentile in America in height. Was lost, but now I'm found. But now I see. Everybody having a good Friday? I hope so. Hi, Big Boy Fortnite. Teddy Bear is French. Are you from France, Teddy Bear? Probably has something to do with the brake pedal. D-Lee probably has something to do with the interlock for the brake pedal. There's a little solenoid in there that has to come out. That solenoid may have failed, or something like that. You guys are probably all wondering why I'm taking the time to go through this stuff like this. There's no shortcut, probably not. There may be, because of the, whatchamacallit. This is why I'm taking the time to go through this stuff. That's probably $5 worth of electrical connectors right there. And I'm not just gonna throw $5 in the garbage. No, sir. Not something I want to do. These are female. Huh. That's interesting. Those are male. I don't see the females in there anywhere. Actually, that should come up here and go in here. Whoa. I rode a cheap hardtail back in the day. There's that socket I was looking for. How did it make it on the floor? I have a giant trance, mostly rough technical downhills now, but I seem to be gaining again. Uh-oh. Are you gaining muscle, hopefully, and not fat? Yes, you are from France. That's awesome. Have you ever heard, with a nickname like that, Teddy Bear, have you ever heard the song about Teddy Bear? It's an old truck driver song from the States here, a country and western song. It's a tearjerker. It'll rip your heart out. You need to go look it up after the live, of course. But I think it was Red Sovine that sang it. It's, like I said, it's a country and western song, old school. It's It's definitely a tearjerker. So yeah, I have a, like I said, I have tall dude. I have a, like I said, a Surly Pugsley Gen 1. So back, I got that thing 10, 15 years ago, back when they were, nobody knew what a fat bike was. And I rode the daylights out of that bike. My son and I actually, over here on our side of the States, there's a trail that'll go from Washington, D.C. all the way to Pittsburgh. And we didn't ride the whole trail. He was 8 years old at the time. We went to Cumberland, Maryland, and then rode back from Cumberland, Maryland to Pittsburgh. It took us, I think it was a 3-day trip. We averaged about 80 miles a day. I was towing a trailer. He had panniers and stuff on his bike. But at 8 years old, that's a giant feat. I weighed about, I was about 350 at the time. I actually wrote an article on the trip. I called it "Bug Out by Bicycle," and that's really one of the things of where my Bronco started. That project started whenever I was writing for Shooter Prepper magazine, which is a defunct magazine now. But I was writing an article for them about what the perfect bug out vehicle would be. For those of you not from the States or not familiar with survivalism, bug out is it's a term that we use that describes what we plan to do if the shit ever does hit the fan. Which we're really close to an election here right now in the States. You guys probably all know that, right? Between Kamala Harris and President Trump. And we're all watching that very closely. My bug out vehicle is not ready. So, and actually my plans have changed since then. That was, like I said, 10 years ago. That was mainly a bug home vehicle, was the plan for that. But at the time I didn't have a company vehicle. So now I have a company vehicle. I have a get home bag in it. My plan is to bug in and protect my house if anything ever happens. Not that I'm a super prepper, but you know, we do have some preps, which you have to have out here in rural southwestern Pennsylvania. Our power goes out quite a bit. Our power actually went out last night with the winds and stuff that we were having. So that was something that you just have to deal with. And yeah, we've grown used to it, I guess. But yeah, so that's kind of where that started. And like I was saying, tall dude, I had been riding that. I actually started on a felt, F-E-L-T, felt Red Baron. And I rode that thing for about a year and a half. Rode myself into, about 100 pounds of weight loss. And then after that, I got that, because the felt was only a 3-speed, so I needed more gears. I got into the Pugsley, which gave me 21 gears, and then I was motivating it once again. Most miles I ever did in a day, we did somewhere in that 100-mile range. We did the entire, what we call the Montour Trail, which is a rails to trail thing here. I don't know if they do that over there, like in Europe or wherever, guys, France. But here they'll take old defunct railroads and turn them into walking paths or bicycle paths. And that's a popular thing to do here, is to ride and walk on the trails. What's nice about them, of course, if you know anything about rail, the incline on a rail is always usually less than about 2 to 2.5%. You'll never get much more of an incline than that, just because the tractive effort goes through the roof when you start to get much higher inclines, and the locomotives wouldn't be able to move all of that weight on the rail cars. So they try to limit the amount of hills that those things go on. Yeah. I'm going to pick that socket up right now while I still remember it. Laddish, welcome back. Man, that's the one thing about these lives that I've definitely been noticing. You guys are all, mostly is, we have a a definite fan base coming on, and I don't know if that's. I never would have thought that me talking to a phone in a live like this would create a fan base. Wait till we really get started in doing stuff. Thanks, Delee. Greatly appreciate that, brother. The subscriptions, everything helps. I'm trying to build up watch time, so if you really want to help, once we get off the live and you got something to do, go check out Mongo's Garage, and you'll get to hang out with us as we do a lot of different projects. I actually have a video due this Sunday. Auto One LEDs had sponsored a video with us. I did the video, but in the process, I busted one of the LEDs that they gave us, so they sent me another one. So because they were so generous in sending me more lights for because I broke one. I didn't know any better. I busted the light. I'm going to go ahead and do another video. Actually, I'm going to do two more. Well, probably not, just one. But I'm going to put two things into that video. Of course, fixing the light that I broke, and then replacing light bulbs, the little incandescent light bulbs in the dash of Larry. Or I'm sorry, actually it was Pam. We put LED lights in that dash, so that's something that we want to take care of. Yeah, so we greatly appreciate all the help you guys can give us. And once we get things moving, I've got a 51 Chop Studebaker 4-door bullet nose for my project. Dude, are you serious? I imagine being chopped, it probably isn't so much that you can't tell if it's coming forward or going backwards anymore. Those Studebakers, I always thought that was funny how the rear glass of that wrapped around just as much as the front glass. Rawl, how you doing, Rawl? Alec, good to have you join us here. That's quite a project. What are you doing to it? If it's chopped, Studebaker 4-door bullet nose, what type of power do you have in that thing? I imagine small block Chevy or an LS. I will not disparage anybody. Original V8, awesome. I would not disparage anybody for swapping over and using an LS power package, just simply because it's cheap power, man, and it's reliable. I'm a Ford guy through and through. I like the 351s, the 302s, the Windsor block, the Windsor motor family. I'm going to LS it probably. It's not gonna, everybody says that the LS swap is cheap. There's no swap that's cheap, okay? We did a Cummins swap, and everybody says, wow, why you didn't want a Cummins swap? Why are you putting a 12 valve in? And everybody does that. Well, you go ahead and do it then. Because first off, it's not cheap. Second off, it's not easy. Third off, you've got to have your head and ass wired together to be able to do it right and make it reliable. Same thing with the LS. Everybody says, hey, you're going to LS swap it. Well, I want to see half the people that are out there disparaging people or putting them down actually go through with an LS swap and finish it and have it on the road. Just finishing a project in general is huge. Being able to have the personal drive and the fortitude to push yourself through all of the delays and all of the problems that you're going to have. And I say that knowingly because this thing's been in here not in here, but it's been around here, not done for 10 years. And, it takes quite a bit to finally be able to say enough is enough. I'm going to get this thing done. It helps that I have an 04 Silverado rollover as a donor. Absolutely. 2-wheel drive, I hope, T. Lee. That's definitely going to make it easier for sure. And with the, it's still going to take quite a bit of, good, awesome. It's still going to take quite a bit of fabricating skills. Don't let it fool you, and don't sell yourself short for, saying that that's going to be the easier route to take. It's still not going to be easy. You're still going to have a lot of things to do to make it work and make it reliable. That's half of the fun of it. That's why we do this stuff. Because who else is going to do it? If you look around, there's not many people that do this stuff anymore. I've been watching a guy, like I was saying earlier, I don't know whether it's TikTok or whether it's Instagram, YouTube Shorts, going to use an Aces jackpot system for the wiring and training control. That's awesome. I have something similar, not exactly the same. I have a old Street Beast kit that we're going to be putting together, hopefully late winter. Once we get this done, we're going to be working on KJ's projects, but I'm also going to pull my my Shelby kit in here, and I'm going to put that 67 Shelby together. Obviously, I'm not going to fit in that car in my current form, so I have to, I definitely have to have a life change, a lifestyle change in order to be able to enjoy that thing once I get it done. I'm not going to get carried away with it. I have a, I'm trying to remember what those things were called. A Technic 4.6 all aluminum dual overhead cam mod motor for it that I got out of a Lincoln. I have that in the transmission. That's what I'm going to use. So I'm going to use probably a standalone Holly to run all that stuff, just because it's kind of off the wall and it's going to cost me a lot of money because it's Ford. I get that, and that's why I said I will never ever put anybody down for using an LS because it's affordable. Because listen, if you can get it done and you can get it out there on the road, more power to you. I'm also a big fan of Finnegan and Freiberger and those guys. Tony Angelo, the whole roadkill movement. And I'm a firm believer in don't make it right, just get it running. You got to make it safe enough to drive. They go to extremes at times, but I'm a firm believer in all that stuff. VGG, Derek from Vice Grip Garage. A lot of my stuff is along those lines. We've done a couple automotive adventures, and that's something that we definitely want to start more into. But what we're doing most of here on the shop or in the channel is project trucks, project cars, finishing stuff up. At one point, I was telling everybody that my specialty, my superpower was finishing other people's projects when my project's not finished. Kind of being a hypocrite, but I try not to be a hypocrite. I got a friend who wants a 5.4 swap, a 2001 C30 or C300, but I've warned him about the work and the cost. It's going to be a lot of cost. Awesome, D-Lee. That's cool, man. We've got, make sure you check out what's out there already. I have built many trucks. We did a really nice little truck for my son back in the day. Actually, we've done a lot of trucks for him. The project I most liked is called Pat. It's it was a 1986 Ford that we made look like a 1980 Ford four-wheel drive, 306, but complete restoration underneath, and we left the outside all patinaed, and it looked rusty. But I think I looked the other day, there's like 125 videos in that series that you guys should check out for sure. Finish your projects and enjoy. Absolutely. Problem is I have so many stinking projects that I would have to quit my job today and would probably work for the next 3 years and still not get all of them done. I've got ideas in my head of things that I want to do. And that's what KJ was making fun of me the other day. KJ's my son. He's not here now. He's actually at work. I took the day off. He was making fun of me the other day. He said that I have too many, how did he put it? Too much brain, not enough time. I watched Derek and Bad Chad and a couple others. I'd like to have a channel, but not sure how to do what I'm doing. So I'm working 3 jobs, I'll be honest, Dealey, and it is like 3 jobs. So I work a daytime job, and in that job, I am a service manager for heavy equipment, mobile railcar movers called Trackmobile. I've been doing that my entire life, 30 years. On the side, we do stuff like this. Piss around with the old Ford pickups, whatever projects roll in here, and you can see all the stuff that we've done on the channel. And the third job is the YouTube gig. What I'm hoping is that I'm going to get some help on the YouTube gig here once things take off, and I have some cash to throw around and can actually pay people to where we have somebody that will do the video work, maybe some of the editing. That's why I really dig these lives. There is no editing. You just jump on here and we start conversations like this. And this is really the interaction that I need to build the channel. I need you guys to, if you're out there and you're listening and you like what we're talking about, or you want to be a part of this this movement as it goes forward, we can hit the channel, subscribe to it. You can follow through and keep up with what my son and I are doing. I fully intend to be as big as Derek someday, as far as followers and things of that nature. I think we do a lot of the same work. I'm maybe not as much of a, what's the word I'm looking for here? As much of a character as Derek is, but I would say as far as knowledge, we're par for par. He knows a lot more about the ins and the outs of the muscle cars. I'm more of a truck guy. As far as engines and systems and things of that nature, I'm actually, part of my job has always been technical support. I was a technical trainer for forklifts for several years. So I've got a really, really good technical background. 47, hey, pumpkin, hog nuts. I don't know you hog nuts, do I? I don't have my orange Carhartt on. You can't call me a pumpkin. But so yeah, I want to share all the stuff that's in his head, because in the industry I've seen way too many guys pass away, leave the industry, retire with just tons of knowledge in their head that once they retire, it just goes, it squanders it. So my idea with YouTube and how I got YouTube started was really just a place to collect all of my videos to where I can go back and look at them later, kind of like a scrapbook, if you will. Well, that's turned into definitely something that is very close to start making money, and we've built quite we're almost at 3,000 subscribers, and that number is growing ever faster every day. And it's awesome to see you guys join along with us. And KJ and I love every one of you, and are proud to share what we do with you. I'm proud to try and teach you what I know, and what I like about the lives is that we do have the interaction, right? I can answer questions, I can do things like that. We can talk about what's going on. We do a lot of tool reviews and things like that as well. Obviously, this is my setup over here. If you weren't here whenever I described it earlier, circle track cars and race engines. I imagine race engines, D-League. What kind of race engines? I imagine it was all GM stuff. We're hoping to build a 351. Like I was saying before, my Bronco's only got a 300 in it, and driving 37-inch tires, even though there's 410s in the axles, the 300 is very tired. So there's a 351 Windsor. You can't see it, but there's a 351 Windsor beside the refrigerator there that we want to build up. I want to, maybe a 408 stroker, 385, I think, is what happens when you put, Eagle's got a crank that you can put in to make a 385 out of it. But we do a lot of tool reviews. I just did a little short the other day on that light. That's Icon's new light that you can't even get yet. I was just at Harbor Freight today, and it's not on the shelves yet. Everything from street to monster truck and pulling truck. So you were into a little bit of everything. Pulling trucks are big around here, and a buddy of mine did. He had started with a 502, and this was 15 years ago. The 502 was big enough to be, cock of the walk, the big man on campus, to be MOC. But soon, when people started putting more money in their motors, the 502 wasn't big enough. And if you don't dump 20 grand in your engine every season, you're not going to stay with the big dogs. And quickly he was left behind, and it's just, that's what happens. Guys who really want to compete or that are really into it are going to spend the money, and if you're not willing to spend the money, there's no sense in trying. That engine is, I was taught by the late John Lingenfelder. Hello from Turkey. So, Michigan, D-League. You're out of Michigan, I would imagine? It was funny, I went to, the only reason I say Michigan, and I'll tell you, I had to go pick up the quarters, Indiana, okay. I had to pick up the quarters for this thing quite a while back from Jeff's Bronco Graveyard up in up in Michigan, and there's a Lingenfelder right beside him. Oh, it's Florida now. Okay, that's cool. Istanbul originally. So that's cool. Florida now. I'm just, my mind's racing, and that's what happens to me a lot in these lives. There are so many different tracks of conversations that are happening at once that, and I try to address everybody. I'm not trying to ignore anybody. I had a guy on the other night. We were talking about the difference between American and European cars, and he was. I wouldn't say he was being belligerent, but he was being very stern in the fact that American cars are junk and that the European cars are good. And he's entitled to his opinion, man. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, even if it is wrong. But I told him, I said, you're not, he thought I was ignoring him and not paying attention to him. I said, I'm not ignoring you, and I'm paying attention. It's just, I get it. That's the way you feel about it. I'm not going to try and change your mind because that's the way you feel about it. They don't buy vehicles here if they have paint or something like that. They don't, I'm not sure I follow you, sir. In Turkey, they don't buy vehicles. Yeah, I probably wouldn't have gotten along with him either. What was funny though is before the end of the live, I had actually brought him around, and we had a very, very good conversation. And that's what I tell people here at Mongo's Garage. We're gonna act like children a little bit, just because adult men are children still, but we're gonna have adult conversations. We're gonna treat each other with respect. I get that you have different values and that you have different ideas than I do. I'm not gonna try and make you think the way I do. I'm not gonna try and make you believe the things that I believe, but we can have a conversation, and I can understand. I can try to learn from what you do. You can learn from what I do. I didn't understand if you translate. So yeah, there's a lot of, we have a lot of good conversations. Just earlier, I had got cut off of a live because KJ, my son, had called me on the way home from work. And I had a handful of guys on here from India, and we were talking about that this is a big festival weekend for them, a big feast weekend. And they were talking about how, I'm trying to remember the name of the festival, but he said that they make candy. They give candy to everybody, sweets he called it. They give sweets to everybody. They light firecrackers, and they have a big dinner. So I said, well, that sort of sounds like the 4th of July and Christmas all wrapped up into one, which was kind of cool. And it is, I've never gotten out of southwestern Pennsylvania other than maybe, the local states and stuff. It's just one of those things. I have one. I have an undershirt on. Thanks for noticing. Do I have a connection? I do not. Any engine work that I've ever done, I use a local NAPA, a local National Auto Parts Association, the NAPA. They are my hookup. I've got a guy that does cylinder heads. He actually was, so where I'm from, this is a name that you'll recognize. I am probably 20 minutes from the original Yanko building, where the Yanko Camaros and all the Yanko stuff were sold from. And the engine builder that I used to use, he's since passed away. His name was Donnie Lesso. He had done some work for Yanko back in the day, but his son now is my cylinder head guy. The cylinder head on my Bronco was actually done by him. Does really nice work. You pay for it, but that is one of the things that I'm willing to pay for, is good machine work, for sure. So here we go. Just like we were talking about before, here in, he had retracted the message. That's kind of one of the things I find it's funny if they just, I don't listen. Well, when you get ready for some, I can probably help you out. I get parts for the same price that machine shops do. Okay, that's cool. Like I said, at 351, I definitely want to do some stuff there. I want to get, It's probably going to be a rotating assembly, pistons. I'm torn on what I'm going to do for the heads. I was thinking about just giving them to my guy, but by the time he gets done, going through them and doing everything that they need, I could almost buy a set of AFRs. So, yeah, I have a lot more investigating and research to do before I can tell you exactly what I want to do with that 351, but it's coming. Just trying to get everything set up here now to where I can get this thing done with the 300 in it. The 300's brand new. Buy a set of aluminum bolt-ons. That's what I was thinking. The AFR, the airflow research heads, I've heard really good things about them for the 351s and the 302s. But yeah, I'm going to leave the 300 in it for now. Like I said, it's a brand new engine, just rebuilt it, and it runs awesome. It's just a matter of it's with those 37-inch tires, it just doesn't have the power. Dart, yep, Dart's cool as well, for sure, without a doubt. All right, guys. I think I'm going to wrap it up here for right now. Gotta go inside and see what the wife is doing. It's about 4:30 here. My son will be probably on the way up the driveway shortly. I think he's going to be screwing around out back. I'm just not real sure what will be. I'd probably 358. I'd go for probably 358. So that's just going to be the 351 with bored out, right? I was thinking the 385. I think the 385, it's a little longer rod, but you use a 302 piston, and you get a little longer stroke out of it. That engine that we're planning on using had run low on engine oil when we brought it home. It never lost pressure, but later on in life it did rattle a valve. It rattled a rod. Yeah, you definitely have to deal with the extra thermal load and figure out a way to dissipate it. And these things, they're bricks. My 300, I put the big block radiator in the 300. I can't even get it warm. It's really weird. I mean, don't get me wrong, it runs at 180, but it's just, it stays cool, which is one of the things I wanted to do. Well, we got some more stuff put away, more stuff thrown out, that sort of thing. Like I said, this poor truck has set. Oh, well, that kid, he kills me. Why? No one's going to steal it, Kenny. You don't have to take the keys out of it, Bo. This is not the right key. Huh. I might be able to you must have the battery disconnected. Something's wrong. 'Cause it won't do jack. Lights turn on? Yeah, lights are turning on. Does he have the solenoid unplugged, maybe? No, it's still... Oh. Duh. I actually hooked up the clutch switch on that truck. So this doesn't run the starter. Well, it does. It's just the S voltage for the starter. What the heck, man? This thing has really, really old gas in it. And the starter solenoid's bad, obviously. That's why I'm jumping it out. Or I'd start it from inside. Hey! I'm running out of gas. I bet you that's what happened. Either that or the stupid fuel pump went bad. Nah, it probably just ran out of fuel. Yeah, like I said, this thing's been sitting around. It has true duals. I use the EFI headers, manifolds. So true duals, and those are 1.5 inches all the way back. It's breathing through a set of Flow Masters, and it sounds like an angry bumblebee whenever you rev it up. Kind of reminds you of a 2JZ or a Barra. I chose to stay with the junk single barrel because at the time I didn't have enough money to buy the Offenhauser or the Clifford's intake. But I eventually, and like I said, I was building this as a bug out vehicle. So I wanted it to be as simple as possible. Thus the HEI distributor that's in it. That is just a junk Amazon distributor. It's not anything special. That's the second Amazon distributor it's had. That back there is like the 7th starter. This is finally the first good starter. That's a AFC, I forget what they are. But it's obviously it's a gear reduction starter. You could hear that when I was cranking it. Eventually, I want to make it fuel injected. I'll never be able to sell this thing because I've done so much work to it. It will have dual batteries when I'm done. Like I said, it has a hot and a negative, simply because I've got winches on it, front and rear. There's a winch hiding down there. There's one in the back as well. So yeah, that's what we're going to be working on here real soon. Trying to get this thing done and moving on with life. But as all projects do, you know, there will be delays. I'm sure there will be some things that keep us from getting where we want to be on it. One of those is trying to get the garage in decent enough condition to work in, which is what I've been doing for the last 3 days, 4 days, something like that. They're up there. All right, everybody, I think that's it. Appreciate you for hanging out with me here. Go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Make sure that you guys follow along with us. D. Lee, it was great talking with you this afternoon. I hope to see you a lot more around. I've been doing lives every day. These vertical lives are really helping the channel out and grow my numbers so that we can get this thing monetized. That's the plan here. We're trying to get the channel monetized, trying to keep it moving forward to where someday we might be able to make some money from it. But other than that, everybody have a great afternoon. Thank you, sir. You have a great afternoon as well. And the old Mongo man, he's out. See y'all later.